Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Brad Penovich here. Well, another day and another round of strong, possibly severe storms, though I think today is going to be a little bit more straightforward with one line. And depending on the timing, we could see one or two surges of severe weather. So let me get right to what's happening right now. Over in Bristol, Tennessee, you've got a race today, flash flooding going on there. Really bad situation right now. I'm actually going to turn on all the warnings here, and you should see all the flash flood warnings, which are in effect for areas around Bristol right now. So if you're in the Bristol area, please be safe. I know the campground is flooded, so this is bad news currently, but believe it or not, that rain is going to be moving out fairly quickly into the afternoon hours. So you can see that squall line ahead of it. We've got pretty warm and muggy air that has built up across the Carolinas. Even overnight, southerly winds have rushed in and brought in this really unstable air mass, and the dew points are in the 60s. So the air mass ahead of this is pretty warm and sticky already. Here we are at 9:30 in the morning. But as this pushes to the east, heating of the day takes place. And as that starts to happen, that's going to start to pose a threat for more storms to develop this afternoon. So let me put the severe weather outlook for today on there, and we'll pop it up real quickly. And you can see the risk. I'm going to turn off the satellite. You see the medium to high risk up here into Virginia, and this big orange area is the medium risk, basically just following the cold front. So you can see how the risk goes all the way back down into parts of Mississippi. So that's the risk for severe storms today. Let me show you what the timing should look like as this pushes to the east. So here's a look at that squall line. Looks pretty nasty now. Obviously, it's weakened a little bit this morning, but as we go through time, I'll stop this around lunchtime. So this is noon. It'll be moving through the mountains and foothills, and it's not really fast moving. So for that reason, and what we've seen in Tennessee, I'm going to tell you, flash flooding in the mountains and foothills is a really, really big concern because heavy rainfall is going to be falling in areas that are completely saturated by rain today and yesterday, and really over the last week, to be honest with you. We go through time. This is 1 o'clock. You can see the line. I'm going to tilt this a little bit. And then you go through about 2 o'clock. So if this timing works out, 2 o'clock is going to be plenty warm enough that we're likely going to see some pretty strong storms in there. 3 o'clock, you see the line pushing east. And then what's interesting, even behind the line, it looks like some storms try to form back in here. So this is the main line, but it looks like maybe the cold front is in there. And so it's making building another line. And look at that. So even by 4 or 5 o'clock. So if the first line isn't strong or severe, this second one could be as well. That looks like it forms right along the front. So you got to get the idea, we're going to see maybe two little skinny lines of storms move through, and they're going to have the chance to produce gusty winds, some hail, some heavy rain for sure, and still an isolated chance for an isolated tornado. Though I'll tell you, the tornado threat is not really the highest threat today because it's in this linear fashion. That's what we'd like to see. But anytime you see that, you can get little spin-ups within the individual line as it pushes off to the east. The other thing about this front, on the back side, it's going to get really, really cold as this pushes through. So just be ready. I'll go back and forth here. There's the timing. There's about noon, 1 to 2 to 3. So you get that timing right there. And again, there will be lightning all within that line. So real quickly, I just want to show you how much cooler it's going to get behind this front. And you can see that warm air kind of surging up ahead of it. I do a quick probe. You can see some of these areas east of the front this afternoon could be close to 80 degrees. And because of that, that's why you expect to see some pretty strong storms. But look how cold it is behind this front as it pushes through. So this is going to be a pretty big shock to the system as this cool air comes in tonight. I mean, that is some really cold air. We'll go into tomorrow morning. I'm going to stop at around 7:30 a.m. and we've got some 30s and 40s and 20s in the mountains, and I would not be shocked to see a little bit of northwest flow snow on the backside of the system. So it is a real deal cold front. Real quickly, let me go back and show you what's happening right now. Show you that line and what we're keeping an eye on. There it is. So just be prepared. Again, like yesterday, stay weather aware. We've got that line of storms moving in from the west. It's weakening now, but as it moves into the Piedmont this afternoon, expect the storms to re-intensify.